Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight on our news.
The Speaker of the House of Assembly gives an update on the Boundaries Commission. Find out what he had to say straight ahead.
Alfred Sears pushing for a few ground rules to be set to ensure the PLP's leadership race is as fair as possible. That story coming up.
A former police officer dies in an apparent domestic dispute.
Dr. Dwayne Sands says tomorrow's marches are more important than we think. That story's coming up straight ahead.
A look at how the blessing loom is taking hold in the Bahamas. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina McNeil. Topping news tonight, the Boundaries Commission report is still not complete. That's according to House Speaker and head of the Boundaries Commission, Dr. Kendall Major. Major says there are a number of reasons for the delay, which he called unprecedented. Our Jasmine Brown was in Parliament today and has this report. Jasmine?
That's right, Christina. Dr. Major started off this morning's session by announcing that the Boundaries Commission would not be tabling its report.
It was the intention today to deal with matters as it relates to the report, and obviously that didn't happen, much to my disappointment.
While addressing those parliamentarians, Major said the process was undermined by leaks.
This is a very unique situation in this session because of some mitigating factors, one of which is there has been a leak of some proposed information that made it on social media and in the dailies, much to the chagrin of the chair, and it certainly undermines the process and makes this somewhat unprecedented, that we who are sworn to secrecy somehow through our deliberations, matters such as this is leaked to the public.
In mid-December, the Nassau Guardian published an article that revealed that the Boundaries Commission intends to create a new constituency in New Providence. According to that report, the new constituency would include portions of Fort Charlotte, Centerville, Anglerston, and Bain and Grantstown. Major says the leak of that information was disappointing.
And so that has caused great contention within the rank and file of the commission, and it is important that you know that the chair is certainly displeased about that.
But Major says that's not the only issue, as he revealed a change in membership has also slowed the process down. The Free National Movement Deputy Leader Peter Turnquest was replaced by St. Anne's MP Hubert Chipman after Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner became leader of the official opposition last month. Apparent
revocation of the member for East Grand Bahama and the new member, now the member for St. Anne's, there's been a slowing of the process, and that also has been unprecedented in that regard. There's no fault there, however, it is what it is.
Now, Major says despite those setbacks, the Commission will be working hard to complete that report and have it released in the very near future. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Jasmine. Well, Progressive Liberal Party leader hopeful Alfred Sears has called for rules or guidelines to be put in place just ahead of the PLP's national convention, where he will challenge Prime Minister Perry Christie for party leadership. As that convention draws near, Sears today dropped a few hints on who his running mate may be. Kyle Joaquin reports.
Now, Sears says he's been traveling the Family Island sharing his vision and his plan for the country. Now, he says while many consider him to be the underdog, many will also be surprised by the outcome of the PLP's leadership race. With just a few weeks left until the PLP's convention, the first since 2009, the race for party leader is getting a bit more interesting. This as leadership contender Alfred Sears explains that people have come forward seeking to be his running mate and challenged Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis as deputy leader. Some of those people coming forward, he said, sit with Davis in the halls of Parliament.
A few of them are sitting members of Parliament who have expressed support. A number of persons have expressed an interest. At this point, my focus is on the position of leader.
Sears wouldn't say who or if he would announce one leading up to this month's convention, but he said he has pledged his support to others running for different positions within the party who have pledged to support him. A communication between Sears and PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts was printed in this morning's Nassau Guardian. In it, Sears proposes a set of guidelines that would ensure a fair and transparent leadership election.
As in every and any contest, that there be independent observers so that the transparency of the process is maintained, that there be easy and fair, equal access to all of those qualified to be able to get to Nassau and be accommodated in Nassau.
In his letter to the chairman dated January 6, Sayers said the party's trustee responsible for elections, Valentine Grimes, confirmed that there are no rules governing elections. But Sayers told us today that he believes the process will be fair.
I am confident that the party will conduct itself in a mature, transparent, and fair manner.
Several PLP MPs have already come out saying Sayers doesn't have that big of a chance at winning. But according to this leadership hopeful, his supporters are quiet and will make their voices heard when they cast their ballot.
I believe there is a quiet storm. I'm not asking anyone to show any indication or demonstration of support, but simply to do what they have to do. It's a secret ballot, and to vote for the country.
Reporting for our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
In other news, a former police officer is dead following an apparent domestic dispute at a Nassau Village home this morning. Now police are questioning family members who may have been inside the Wilson Street home when the fatal altercation took place.
Assistant Commissioner Stephen Dean says around 8 a.m. police received reports of the death. When police arrived on the scene, the victim's body was lying on the floor inside the home with no visible signs of injuries. However, Dean says family members reported that the victim was acting violently toward relatives before his death.
This young man was acting very violently as a result for the past week. And up to this morning it escalated. And relatives tried to calm him down, resulting in him attacking male and female residents of his family. They tried to constrain him. At one point during the altercation, he fell to the ground and he succumbed to his injuries.
Family members are being interviewed to determine how the altercation unfolded, but an autopsy will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. The victim's identity has not yet been released. However, police were able to reveal a few details.
We are receiving information. We'll have to check our files. That some time ago he resigned from the RBPF.
Our News understands that the victim was in his 30s and the family was coping with an ongoing dispute before this morning's incident took place. Dean could not elaborate on the matter as investigations are in their preliminary stages. However, he gave this advice for families that may find themselves working to find help for a struggling family member.
We have to pay attention to our family members, particularly those who might have mental challenges. We are asking public, do not take that for granted. Make sure that they are taking their medication if need be. Make sure that they get some treatment if you see some abnormal sign. It could start from a child that we see some things. Do not take it for granted. Do not take these things for granted. So we're just asking family members to please pay attention and do not take that chance of that I can just bypass this, because we get indicators, we get red flags. Once you see those red flags, please get professional help.
Well, there's a new trend, or scheme as some would call it, going around the Bahamas in the hopes of gaining quick and easy money. Only problem is more and more people are being duped out of their dollars. Tonight, our Kyle Joaquin takes an inside look at the loom.
Many have heard of it. Put $100, get $800. And for the past week or two, it's had Bahamians buzzing, with some winning big and many not so happy. It's called Loom, with the proper name being Blessing Loom. It starts off with someone inviting you to put money, usually $100, for you to get in a blue space in an octagon-shaped chart. Everyone in the blue space pays their money to the person in the center. Once the blue spaces fill up, the loom splits in two. The two people just outside the center then go on to another loom where they are at the center, and everyone on the outside moves closer to the center. All this as more and more people join. And the cycle continues. But eventually, someone loses. Here in the Bahamas, more and more people have joined these looms, with some able to multiply their $100 investment, while others find it hard to even get it back. Some taking to social media to vent. Over the weekend, one woman went viral on WhatsApp, reportedly aggravated after she invested $60 in a loom and saw no return. And then there's this post by a man who reportedly spent $100 of his rent money. Rumors even began circulating on social media today over a woman being stabbed during an argument over a loom. Acting head of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Ken Strawn, has since said he has no knowledge of such an attack. Now, while some decided to vent online, we took to the streets to see how some of you felt about the loom.
I'm not really getting involved in that too tough. I don't really trust it, you know? Sounds something like an ASU to me, but you know, like if it ain't going through the right channels, maybe the bank or something like that.
Someone from, like, for me personally, I don't know 8 people to recruit, so I would be losing. Now, people who, I guess, sociable and whatever else, that's them putting their talent to work for a quick buck, although fast money never good, so who knows? At the end of the day, somebody just lose.
Well, that's something good, you know. Whoever want to take a chance, then, you know, they should do it.
But it's not for you.
No, not for me. No, I'm not going to take that chance.
Then there were others not too calm about it.
It's a trap, and also a dead trap because it set people up to do wrong things. Once the first set of people didn't get their moment and you didn't add people to that group, you tend not to get your money, and then it will cause a lot of problems.
I just think it's just an opportunity for people to try to take advantage of people in their poor financial state. So if you want to be gullible and just jump on something, what you just see online, just become a part of a Ponzi scheme and you get swing.
So whatever you decide, think hard. Getting a quick buck may not be as easy as you think. For our news, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Thanks, Kyle. Still to come on our news, a call to claim Majority Rule Day for the people. How much has government really spent on Hurricane Matthew relief efforts? And a Progressive Liberal Party member of Parliament will be sitting this election out. That's coming up when our news returns.